Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Boydston Grove, and today we're going to show you how to make cheap special effects. A really cool toy truck that's also a little puzzle. Let's get into it.
I love puzzles.
I found this truck on Facebook and I thought it looked really cool, but I felt like it was missing a little something, so I decided to recreate it and just kind of kick it up a notch.
He's taken it to a whole other level.
I also created a full set of plans that is available on our website. I'll leave a link in the description below. I started with a piece of a 2x12 that I had in the shop, but any 2x material will work. I used my template to mark out the main truck body and decided I wanted to double the thickness of the body of the truck, so I cut the pieces to size on the miter saw and the table saw, and then cut the rest of the shape out on the scroll saw. I want the windows on my truck to be completely cut out, but you could also just carve out a little recess or paint the windows on the body. I made one last little trim on the miter saw and then sanded the two halves to make sure that they would join together nice and clean. Once I was happy with the fit, I glued them up. While that was drying, I used the templates for the little shapes that will be the puzzle pieces and cut them out of some leftover 1/4-inch plywood. Anyone recognize where those plywood scraps are from? If you do, let me know in the comments. With the puzzle pieces all cut out, I started cutting out the pieces for the box of the truck from some 1/2-inch plywood scraps. I cut rabbets along all the edges of the top piece of the box. This will help hold the top in place. The next step was to mark out all the puzzle pieces on the top and two side pieces of the box and cut them out. Once they were all cut out and sanded, I assembled the box with glue and brad nails. If you like these types of projects, make sure to subscribe because we work on a new project every week. Come on, you know you want to.
It is your destiny.
With the truck body dry, I sanded it down and then drilled out the holes for the axles with a 5/16 inch bit. While I was at the drill press, I drilled holes in all the puzzle pieces that will hold pegs to make little holders to make them easier to grab. Then it was time to start painting. I used some pre-made 1.5 inch wheels. I'll leave links to the wheels that I'm using in the description below. Okay, so those pegs I mentioned earlier are typically used as axles on wooden toys. I thought they would make perfect little handles for the puzzle pieces, but they were too long, so I cut them a little shorter and glued them in place with super glue. I used some 1/4 inch dowels for the axles and used super glue to assemble them, making sure to put some washers between the wheels and the body of the truck. Now it's starting to look like something. I used some Titebond Quick and Thick to attach the box to the body, and then in true belt and suspenders fashion, I drove in some finishing screws. Now technically everything is done and you could stop right here, but I decided to add a few extra things. Starting with some headlights. Using a Forstner bit, I drilled out some spots on the front of the truck and inserted some halves of a wooden bead that I had split in half. You can actually purchase wooden beads that are already split. I'll leave links to some in the description below. Then I took some dowels, 7/16 inch I think, and used the bench sander to flatten out a side so they would sit nice and flat against the truck body. I also rounded one end to make it look like it's exhaust coming out from underneath the truck. After painting the dowels, I glued and pin nailed them in place. In case you didn't notice, I also painted on a windshield. With all that done, I felt like I reached a good stopping point, so I applied a few coats of spray-on satin lacquer. Alright, well our toy truck / puzzle project is completed, and this is one of those projects that you can add as many or as few details as you want to really make it your own. Like I said before, I've created a full set of plans for this project right here. I'll leave the link in the description below, and it is free to our Grove members from now through the month of May. Speaking of which, a big shout out to all our Grove members. Thank you so much for your support in helping this channel grow and continue projects like this. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this project. Thank you so much for watching, be safe, and have a great day.